Good Shabbos, everybody. Good afternoon. Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parsha Noach, pretty exciting Parsha. Um, Everyone and their sister has a reason as far as the Chet Mabel, what's going on there, what's happening. And the Pri Tzaddik has something that's kind of, I don't know, a bit Chiddush, at least for me. Not that I know everything, but interesting pitch into what's the Dor Mabel, what the Chet was. And it brings out a Medrash, Bereshis Rabbah, the Achas Arbam Shana Hayuzorim. Every 40 years, they had to work the land, they had to plant. Rako Ochlim Shosam Pachazim. Ro Shalva Hevi Shmardu L'chatu. So 39 out of 40 years, they didn't have to work, which is pretty darn good. 1 out of 40 years. And Gemara Sanhedrin talks about the same theme with Abraham. Abraham Avinu travels around, he sees all these people, even in Eretz Yisrael, all over the world. They're partying, they're having a good time. This isn't what I want to be. This is not an Eretz Yisrael thing. This is not what my children, how they're supposed to behave. It's not supposed to happen. What's the problem with this? The problem is Derech Eretz Kadol Torah. Without Derech Eretz, meaning without work, there's no way you can really serve Hashem properly. There's too much time, there's too much people have too much time on their hands, too much money, whatever the case is, and they're too involved in the pleasures of this world, sleeping, eating, drinking, partying, too much. No one's really going to follow Hashem, no one's going to want to do mitzvos, no one's want to delve into Torah Shebaal Peh, specifically. No one's going to work at it. What's the purposes? There's no precedent, there's no template to work hard at anything. One of my Rebbeim, not really a Rebbe, Colin Cowherd from ESPN, talks about affluenza. What the heck? Very seldom do you see the sons of the athletes being as good as the athletes. Michael Jordan's son didn't play in the NBA. Wayne Gretzky's son didn't play in the NBA. Mike Jaminski's son never played in the NBA. The great players, obviously. So what's Pshat? Pshat is what inspired the fathers, the grandfather, what inspired them. They had to work. They had no money. They had to work for what they had. The sons grew up in mansions that the father provided. So there was never a drive. There's never anything going on there. And also you turn on, you watch the New York Post or whatever it is, and it's all the celebrities doing these crazy, wacky things, with the football player. If you have no work to do and you grow up wealthy, you have too much time in your hands, like the song says, you have no drive to do anything that's really constructive. And that's Dor Mabel. And this is part of what's happening. For example, the Pri Tzaddik, or Tzaddik HaKohen Lublin, says this was the process. That's why the Nefashos had to go down to Mitzrayim. So the Nefashos of Mitzrayim are actually Gilgulim from Dor HaMabel, Dor HaFlaga. Dor HaMabel wiped out. The Nefashos rebuilt again they come down by Dor HaFlaga, tower. Also, they're spread out. And eventually the Jewish people, the Nefashos from Mabel and from Dor HaFlaga are the people of Mitzrayim. And Mitzrayim is supposed to be metaking. Some of the Averos was Pagam Bris. Chum does horrible things with his father. And they go to Mitzrayim, because Mitzrayim was a place known for Znus. And the people had to kind of be metaking for that. The people of Dor HaFlaga were working to make the tower, so the people of Mitzrayim had to work, the Chol Venim, to be attacking that. So this Inui and this Abdus and this Gidra from Zanus, because the people were saved from Mitzrayim because they stayed away from Zanus, these pieces were attacking to get the Torah, to get out of Mitzrayim. So this is a pretty important part. Of what the Avera and what the Metaken is. Unfortunately, we heard some bad news. Our friend from high school, Simcha Weichbrod's father, passed away, Moshe Weichbrod, and someone commented on our high school chat list that he was the first one to employ a lot of these people in our class with the catering, Shabbos Kiddush. I was never hired for obvious reasons. My father, photographer, kind of helped me there. We held in the lights, things like that. Never had to really work at a Kiddush Shabbos, which was, I guess, made sense for obvious reasons. And this is a pretty important aspect. On a side note, as far as Noach, employing people. My friend, a good friend of ours, passed away a few years ago. His yard site comes out, Parshas Noach, about Ephraim Moss. And before he died, he had an accounting firm, and him and his partner employed 9, 10, 11 people. And I commented right after, I go, that's a tzaddik, that's a tzaddik. Because we have two tzaddikim that the Torah calls, Noach HaTzaddik, Noach HaTzaddik, and Yosef HaTzaddik. What's the... Noach saved the world. Noach saved the world. He provided for the 40 days the rain came down, all months in the Teva. He provided food for all the animals. Noach HaTzaddik, because he provided for people, saved the world by people. Yosef HaTzaddik saved the world with the Rav. And that's a tzaddik. A tzaddik is someone who provides for you. And now there's two ways to think about this. Someone who provides for you, someone who takes care of you so you can kind of pay the bills and you have shalom bayis. But the other part, according to the Pri Tzaddik, your boss keeps you out of trouble. Just think about, if you didn't have a job to do, what would people do? Some of us would learn a little bit more maybe, but we wouldn't do things that are really constructive. Maybe some of us would do more mitzvos and things like that, but some of us wouldn't do things that are constructive. So that's kind of what the Pri Tzaddik says. And a tzaddik does that. Tzaddik takes care of us, and a tzaddik keeps us out of trouble, keeps away from Averos. Shabbat Shalom.